relationships, fashion, trends, and all things topical. She is the content queen.
Facebook, YouTube, Twitter.
Time to find out what Kristi's blogging about on Fly 92.3.
Times Union. TimesUnion.com. The blog is on the edge. The woman is Kristi Gustafson, Barlette. Good morning, Kristi. How are you today?
I'm going to start, when I talk about you guys, I'm going to start saying Fly 92.
I know.
Fly Morning Rush.
Is it annoying? Is it obnoxious?
The man is Brian. The woman is Chrissy.
Gosh, that's terrible. Maybe if I listen back to the segment, that part always seems to be chopped off whenever it makes it onto the blog and stuff.
Well, the beginning. Well,
Yeah.
it's not my fault.
Or is it?
I put it up in its entirety.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
Anyway, well, today we're touching on sports, which can be a topic that I'm not so good about, but we're also talking about money with sports, and I always like talking about money.
Yeah, this was crazy when, everybody knows by now the story, but quickly, if you don't, Geno Smith, who was going to be the starting quarterback for the New York Jets, got his clock cleaned by a player on the team a couple of days ago at training camp when Geno Smith owed this guy $600 for
a plane ticket.
Yeah, like a missed
travel
appearance.
expenses.
And so I guess, you could kind of debate back and forth as to whether or not maybe, Geno incited the whole thing or if the other guy was wrong in terms of knocking out the quarterback and now Geno's going to be out 6 to 10 weeks. But it all stemmed from $600 lousy dollars. When you're talking about the guy is worth millions, but that's almost irrelevant, though.
Exactly.
The bottom line is it comes down to if you owe somebody money or you are owed money, you might think it's gone away, but Kristi, in reality, it never really does.
It never does. Some people had said on social media how it's like if you want to maintain a relationship or you want to maintain a friendship, don't ever let money get involved. Don't loan money, don't borrow money, don't let any of that happen.
I know. And I guess I think it's worth pointing out, too, and I was thinking about this last night. Like, if you owe somebody money and you think that they've forgotten about it, just because they haven't said anything, they haven't.
Right.
And if I'm owed money, and just because I haven't said anything to you, it doesn't mean that I forgot. Very rarely does anybody ever forget about either being owed or owing the other person money.
And it depends, I think, about how much it is. Like, there's been times where you and I picked up a birthday present for someone. You're
Right.
like, oh, crap, Chrissy, I still owe you $40 for such and such. And I completely forget about it.
You do. You're the best. That's why asking.
Except now she'll remind.
Right. And sometimes I do truly, honestly forget.
Yeah, and
But
I do too, though.
have you ever owed anybody money, Kristi, or have been owed money?
So, no, I'm obsessed with paying people back. Like, even if I borrow, say, $3, I'll pay you back the next day. But I definitely was owed a lot of money. Many, many years ago, a friend of mine, she wasn't able to really get credit on a credit card. $500 was the max on her credit card, and she definitely liked to shop. And let me preface this with saying I was young and stupid because this was very, very stupid. So in 1 month, I allowed her to spend $10,000 on my credit card.
Oh, my gosh.
This is before I was married or anything like that. So this was just my own responsibility, but I love points on my credit card. And I thought, well, $10,000, I'm going to get tons of points. She assured me she'd pay me back before the end of the month because I was obsessed with card has to be paid off in full every month.
Can I just
my
ask you a
God,
question?
10
How did you
grand.
think that somebody was going to be able to pay you back $10,000 within a month if they didn't have any credit?
I don't, because I was like 20-something, and again,
Yeah.
it was very, very stupid. And believe me, when my parents found out, they were not
gosh.
happy. I did.
10,000.
Holy cow.
And
They ended up having to kind of get involved because I was
Wow.
panicking. I couldn't sleep, and she kept telling me she went to the bank and deposited the money in my checking account because I was out of town. It wasn't happening. It was horrible, and I did end up getting the money literally at the 11th hour. I've not been friends since then, and I have never lent anybody money like that.
She
She
did-
did pay you
she did
back.
though, yeah.
How like you say 11th hour, is that your stipulation of the 30 days or before it? Wait.
No, I think if I remember correctly, I think what happened was my parents transferred the money to my bank account so I could pay off the card, and then she got it to me within like 2 days after that, so I was able to pay them back right after it. But again, it was so stupid, and it was not worth the points.
I hate using the word.
stress.
I don't like using the word stupid, but that's
But
a pretty
that was
good.
pretty
It was
dumb.
It's a pretty
bullying.
accurate.
I admit
That's
it.
a
And,
journalistic.
$10,000 is a lot of money at any time in your life,
Yes.
but especially when you're like 25 years old.
I remember.
Wow.
Remember a few years back. Well, it's probably going back maybe 8-10 years. I was at the casino with my parents, and it sucks when you go to the casino with somebody. Somebody inevitably loses all their money like day 2, and you're out there for like 6
Yep.
days. And for me, I think I lost all my money in like hour 2. And I remember borrowing some money from my dad, and then I truly just kind of like, it's weird with parents because sometimes they ask for it back and sometimes they don't. And as the kid, you just kind of wait for them to ask, and then you figure if they don't ask, then it's probably just okay,
Right.
you know. And I remember borrowing the money, and it wasn't a lot of money. It was less than what Geno Smith, had to owe, which was like $600. So I think maybe it was like $300 or $400. And I remember recently, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, something came up. We got into a family argument, and my father, who would have said nothing, he just kind of sat there quietly. My mom's like, "And what about all that money you owe your father?" And I'm like, "I don't even know what." Mom, I go, "I truly, honestly don't know what you're talking about." And he's like, "Yeah, you owe me." And then now he jumps in, and I'm like,
We
"All
haven't
right."
forgotten,
And
Brian.
I got all defensive. I'm like, screw the both of you. Everything I do for you. And then I thought about it and I remembered it because I did truly, honestly forget, but they didn't.
Right.
And I think I paid him back like the next day. I'm like, "Here, take it." I was all mad, even though like it was rightfully theirs.
Now we're even.
I'm like, why don't you guys just say anything?
Right.
Though? Why don't you just tell me? And,
There are those people too who don't say anything, and
Right.
it just
well,
builds up.
normally
and
we
builds
love
up
you,
and
but
builds-
today we hated your freaking guts. That's like my mom's answer.
Such an awkward topic. It's like you don't necessarily want to broach the subject,
That's true.
even though you want your money back, and it's like eating you up or bothering you, whether you owe someone or you're owed.
Yeah.
Right.
Do I owe you either of you guys any money? By the way, I hate I hate the thought of it. I'm like you, Christy.
Brian,
Do I? I owe you money?
What was that one time I loaned you about $1,500?
Yeah. Okay. Please. Well, that
I
money's
think
you're not getting that back.
You might owe for cake. I don't know.
Oh, really?
You might owe for cake in the office, but I don't think so.
Like birthday cake?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you tell me that I
Oh,
might
no,
owe you money,
You don't. Nope, we're even. Because the last cake I think was for you, so
Right.
so you don't owe anything.
I gotcha. All right.
So, celebrate cake.
Christy, what did some of your readers say about loaning money and having to borrow money and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, well, one of my readers, Mario, said that there were at least 10 people he's loaned money to, and they're all the same. He's like, I chase them down. I'm the bad guy. He's like, and then I lose the friend and I lose the money. So another guy, Dave O'Brien, said, you know what? I gave up. I just say no. I say no to everyone. He's like, no money, no borrowing tools, no things, no nothing, not even a cup of sugar.
Right, because it turns into that. From money comes, oh, can I borrow your saw or your hammer, and you never see it again.
Well, and you know what one woman said, which I actually thought was interesting and really speaks to our culture and our society now. She had lent someone $1,000, and they told her they would pay her back at tax time. At tax time, she got $500 back and was told, oh, no worries, the other $500 will come when the state taxes come. The money never came, but they're Facebook friends. So she saw on their social media page that they bought a big, new, nice TV, and they bought new Nike Jordan
That's the
sneakers.
worst.
Everybody has that one friend that never has any money,
Totally broke.
can
that
never
person.
afford to buy drinks. Oh, I can't drive. I don't have my gas in my car. And then you see they're like sitting in the championship level seats at a Yankee game or something like that.
Brand new sneakers.
Yeah, right, with
That
the
are like $400.
Yeah, the pictures of
them.
sneakers and brand new kicks. I'm just like, what do you even say to that person? You know what I mean? Like, what do you say to that person? It just sucks. There's nothing worse than. I feel terrible when I owe somebody money, and I feel even worse when somebody owes me money because I'm like you, Christy. I hate asking for it.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
Hate it.
Well, it's awkward. And, someone else said how they actually lent a substantial amount of money. They lent $15,000 to someone, and it had been years and years, and they never got it back. And then a mutual friend in the group had asked to borrow money. So they basically said, if the person I lent money to originally loaned you the money you need right now, I'll consider everything a wash.
Wow.
And, they said, oh, okay, you know what, I'll do that, I'll write it off. But then the crazy thing is the person who had originally had the loan and then loaned the money went and asked for a payback of $1,000.
Oh,
love
my
it.
God.
It's like you're already, underwater in this. You shouldn't be asking anyone for money back.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is good. All right, Christy. Well, thank you. We'll talk to you next.